Hello, welcome to Blockchain Brunch. Did you like my little video intro? We are trying something new, so trying to make it a little spicy, and Huntrix with K-pop Demon Hunters is just stuck in my brain. Let me pop open the Blockchain Brunch on my page so I can see all of your comments. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's Wednesday. I have very little to complain about. Let's do our little intro. So, welcome to Blockchain Brunch, where the hiring tea is hot, the coffee is fresh, and we are here to drop all the alpha on who's hiring, who's not hiring, where to work, where not to work. We want to help out with your LinkedIn profiles as well as your resumes. So if you are interested in having your resume audited, go ahead, send us a DM. You can reach me on Telegram at the Crypto Recruiter if you want to send your resume. I would encourage you to remove all identifying information. So like your address, that's a whole nother topic. Your address, your email, your phone number, unless you want that to be shown on screen, because we will be screen sharing. So really excited for you to be here. Really excited to be here in general. So it's been a long morning, so we've got 2 cups of coffee instead of 1. I'm sure we will get through both of those. Trevor's going to join us here in a couple minutes. But good morning, everybody. If anybody has questions, let me know. Hey, Web3 Glossary, I see you. Yeah, I have a splitting headache. So just so everybody knows, we're doing our best. I want to talk about the jobs we have open currently. We've got a bunch. So let's pop those open and take a peek. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got a validator operations engineer. I actually have 2 of those. A founding product strategist, 2 senior backend engineers, a solution sales engineer. I actually have a chief executive officer opening right now. That's for a crypto exchange that's expanding in the US. I've got an account executive for a data company, a VP of engineering. That one's based on site in New York. A head of operations that's based in Dubai. If you're interested in moving to Dubai, let me know. We've also got 2 SDRs, sales development representatives, a software engineer, a product manager, Chrome extension developer, a marketing lead, UX UI, and a senior quant trader. Senior quant trader is also kind of like head of quant. So that's going to be a spicy one. Really excited to be working on that. It's actually my first quant role, if you can believe it. Guys, don't forget, leave a comment. Where are you this morning? Just a quick refresh in case you missed it. Send me your resumes. Let's go over them. Let's edit them. I was making a post this morning. I actually decided not to post about career coaches. So I have never met anybody, Heidi. I've never met anybody that's been successful with a career coach. And I meet a lot of people, like a lot of people. I was doing the math, and it's on the low end about 3,000 people a year. So people wonder like, hey, Torsten, good morning. People wonder like why my following is so big. And it's like, because I know these people. I know you guys. We've met, we've talked, we've interviewed. So I'm here to bring value to your search. Add me on Telegram at the Crypto Recruiter to send your LinkedIn or to send your resume. If you'd like us to edit your LinkedIn, help you there, go ahead and leave a comment. Otherwise, I hope everybody's having a great day. I know I am. So regarding those open jobs, all of them are remote except for the head of ops and the VP of engineering. So everything's remote. I love remote. I want to stay remote. I mean, obviously I have this giant desk. Like I can't take this into an office and it weighs like 1,000,000 pounds. So I will be forever remote. But there are a lot of people that are open to going back into the office. George, it's so good to see you here. Hey, George. So yeah. So anyway, I was talking to someone this morning. So there was this recruiter that posted something rather savage on LinkedIn. And I commented, and I appreciate everybody that backed me up on that comment. But it's just like, oh, going back to career coaches, like there's a lot of bad advice out there. I saw this woman post on LinkedIn about how she's had 100 interviews and no jobs. And this person was like, oh, we'll use this as your banner photo. And I commented, LOL, do not use that as your banner photo. If you want to be seen as as a freelancer, definitely have a banner photo that's like, a light picture, your name, your contact information. But that's what I see for freelancers all the time. That's the signal that you're sending. So if you're trying to spice up your profile a little bit, have a picture of the industry that you are in. Like if you're in crypto blockchain, literally Google crypto blockchain, pick a picture on Google, and boom, you're done. I think what's important about a banner photo is it adjusts the overall vibe of your profile. It lets people know what they're getting into when they visit. So if I'm looking at a profile that's got no banner, like, okay, maybe this person isn't active on LinkedIn. If I have like a banner of a city, it's like, okay, maybe this person is based in Chicago or New York, right? But when you put your contact information and your name and your title and your banner photo on LinkedIn, like I said, it just sends the signal that you're a freelancer. So rather than that, pick a picture and use that. Use it as decorative, not informative. And you can also have more than one banner. That is something new. So if you want an example, go to my page and check out the sliding banners. I think it's something nice to look at. It's different. So have fun with it, guys. Something that's interesting is your company does not own your LinkedIn profile unless you're a recruiter, because then you got a brand with the company, but that's a whole long story. But your company does not own your LinkedIn profile. I still think you're a representative of that company based off your LinkedIn profile, but they really can't tell you what to do or what to post. It's like managing your Facebook. Who's on Facebook these days? Not me. I had someone try to log into my Facebook 20 different times from 20 different locations. And I'm like, joke's on you. I don't use this. But yeah, so social media, it's important to, what's the word I'm looking for? You want to represent your company to the best of your ability, because clients, customers, and future employees are coming to your LinkedIn page to get an impression of the company, what they do, what they're about, what their people are like. So always remember that your socials are a reflection of the company that you're working for. Web3 glossary. Yeah, send me your resume. Absolutely happy to help. So what was I saying? Oh my gosh, the ADHD is strong today. Torsten, by the way, Joseph Harper and I will talk about my journey into Web3 on LinkedIn Live. Next is new Web3 series next Tuesday. I just got these glasses and apparently I need another pair. Awesome. Well, Torsten, drop the link to that live. We'll encourage people to join. Good morning, Hamzat. It's good to see you. So does anybody have any questions about their career, about their job hunt, about positioning themselves on LinkedIn? Oh, that was what we were talking about, employers. So let's say you're looking for a job and your LinkedIn is 100% not updated. There's nothing on there and you want to update your LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is the easiest place to get recruited for a job. I mean, literally the easiest place. So if you were to update your profile and you're worried about your employer noticing and thinking that you're open to work, I would just say, oh, no, actually, I'm updating my profile because I want to represent you guys to the best of my ability. Always a great excuse. But keep your profiles up to date, and you want to make sure your profile is educational. It's not just your job title in the company that you're working for. You want to show people like, hey, here's where I bring value to a team. Here's where I make an impact. Here's what I've accomplished and how I've affected the bottom line, right? So this goes especially within sales. If you're a salesperson and you're looking for a new job, you need to talk about your metrics, your numbers, your quota. Anytime I'm interviewing a salesperson, I'm always asking about their quota and how much they hit and how much it was. And that's something that you can showcase on your LinkedIn if you feel comfortable. Some of that information is confidential, but here's what's really cool. So if you parse your resume to the back end of LinkedIn, it will actually pull the details off your resume and share them on the back end where it may not be shown on the front end. So I have plenty of candidates that have nothing, not a zip on their LinkedIn profile, but because they've uploaded a resume, I can still find them based off keyword searches because the LinkedIn algorithm is now pulling the details off the resume, which I think is pretty cool. I had this woman that I met. She was the head of HR for an incredibly large organization, didn't have any company listed on her page, just had her name, her title, her education, and literally that was it. So it kind of looked like a fake profile, but I was willing to have the conversation with her. When I looked at her on the back end of LinkedIn, it had all of these experiences, VMware, Amazon, Meta, and it's like I never would have known any of that unless I had access to the back end of LinkedIn. So I think it's important to consider keeping your LinkedIn up to date. Again, and if an employer like flies a red flag and is like, hey, why are you updating your LinkedIn? The answer is, I want to represent you appropriately. So when our clients come to my page, they get a good idea about who I am. One thing, if you're looking for a job, you don't have a formal LinkedIn page, you don't have a lot on there, and you don't feel comfortable putting a lot on there, start posting on LinkedIn. Start talking about the things you're passionate about, the things you're knowledgeable about. Companies want to hire people that know what they're doing, right? A lot of companies in crypto are in a pinch. They don't have time to train. They don't have time to ramp someone up. They're looking for that experience. So I don't know, update your LinkedIn profiles if you're looking for a job. And yes, I do have a relatively large tattoo. I know nobody usually sees that. So we'll just keep that between us girls. So we've got Hamzat, can you check out mine to see how good my LinkedIn profile is? Absolutely, I can. I need you to write a comment to give me permission to screen share your profile. Absolutely happy to. I just don't want to give away any information. Keep in mind, this is recorded on LinkedIn and TikTok. We're trying to get onto TikTok. Hi, TikTok. Good to see you guys. I think TikTok is a very underused platform. There's a lot of like interesting crypto people on there, and the crypto people that are active are getting good results. And when I say results, I mean they're building an ecosystem, they're building a community. I definitely am not passionate about Facebook. And I don't think a lot of us are on Facebook, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like the place to be is TikTok, Instagram. What is this Lemon 8 I keep hearing about? I have no idea what that is. Welcome everybody. Oh, Torsten, feel free to share mine if you would like. Let me pull up. Why is none of this working? Technology. Like I'm on the live event by myself and I can't see any of the comments. Hold on, we might hear a loud noise. Uno momento. Let me refresh so I can pull up Torsten. There we go. Thanks, technology. All right. So, Torsten, I'm going to share my screen. If I can figure out how to share my screen. All right, here we go. Torsten, my old friend. Well, there's a lot we could talk about here. Am I screen sharing? I am not. Okay, Emily, you got this, girl. Let's go. There we go. Hey, Torsten. So a couple of things. Your banner photo is interesting. It's not necessarily educational, but it's interesting. If anything, I would parse this onto a crypto background. So it's a little more educational and setting the vibe. What just happened? Why did this go away? Okay, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Interesting. So you've got this bolded. I still have to figure out how to bold things on LinkedIn. I need to spend more time there. So I like the bolding. It really stands out. I might just add an extra space here. So it stands out a little bit further. Web3 content strategist. So I see that. My first thought is, well, let's look at some of his content. And we've got good stuff here. That's awesome. And you've got the bolding. Looks good. I like this. So good. You are posting content. You've got a success story here. I would remove the dash. I know that's not the dash from ChatGPT, but just remove it in general. Hey, Trev, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
Hey. Toolkit, remote, experience. So this is interesting. What I'm not getting from your experience is content. That's not what I'm pulling away from this. I'm pulling away, the first thing I see is sales, right? AI advisor driving sales. So that makes me think that you're more of a solution architect. Sales cycle is standing out to me. So what I would do is I would post more about the content that you're putting together. I would also encourage you, you can add a media to each position. hold on one second. So I'm getting a text message from someone that has no audio on. I'm going to let you know, turn your computer audio on and you will have audio. So there's that. Okay. So yeah, so I'm not pulling away content from your profile. You can add a media to each description. So you can have a little like blog post here. If you go to my profile, I've got a little recommendation about us. Editor-in-chief, Cinema V. Do they have a LinkedIn page? Because I would re-tag this. Now, here's what's interesting. You want to take dates of education off your profile. Yeah, that's just going to date you. It's going to tell people how old you are, and it's not important when you graduated. License certifications look good. Skills. So the skills on your profile, you see the top two, right? And you can reorganize these. I would highly encourage us, if content is the way we want to go, content, DeFi, right? Putting things like that up there. LinkedIn recommendations, good. Mark, thank you so much for writing a LinkedIn recommendation for our great friend Torsten. One of the challenges here is this is good, but again, we're talking about photography. Torsten is a talented technology worker. Anytime I recommend someone get a LinkedIn recommendation, I always say you want to make it as thoughtful as possible. So ask that person, hey, would you mind writing me a thoughtful recommendation on LinkedIn? This just changes the tone a little bit, right? Oh, also I need to close that. LOL, sharing my screen with all my chats. I'm really winning today. So yeah, that's what I would say. English, French, beautiful, following a couple people. So overall, Torsten, I think you need to re-strengthen your LinkedIn profile to be less about what you're doing right now and more about what you want to be doing, which is content. So give people an example of, what it looks like to work with you, what your content is about. Let's set up a blog. Let's set up a web page. So that's what I would encourage for you, my friend. Was that helpful? Chris Hazelton, no, you're right. Also, guys, I have no air conditioning. Again, third week in a row. So if you hear any background noise, I apologize. I live right by a train, so it's glorious. Torsten, thanks for coming up and being what's the word I'm looking for? A guinea pig for us. Gonlu, are you active on X as well? So funny. Trevor, do you call it X or Twitter these days?
I call it whatever anyone else wants to call it.
Whatever the moment feels like. So yes,
whatever
I am on.
They feel like.
It's Emily Crypto Jobs. So feel free to. I'm not funny enough for Twitter. I'm just not. I'm not funny enough for Twitter. Anything I want to post, I overthink it. I don't even. I'm not funny enough for Twitter. Kind of is what it is. So Umar, sounds good. What sounds good? Let me know, my friend. Anybody have any questions about their job search or about open roles that we have or their LinkedIn profile or resumes? If not, we can wrap up quickly. But Trevor, do you have any thoughts? Anything you want to share today?
Positive, uplifting stuff, maybe, perhaps. I guess depending on the way that you want to look at it. But there's this guy named Alan Watts. And I don't know how this popped up on my profile, but it was randomly. I don't even know what platform it was on, quite frankly. But it mentioned that humans, we have the biggest misconception that change takes time.
Yeah.
And he said that change happens the moment that you decide to change. And I thought that was really poignant, especially for a lot of people here that are potentially, thinking about getting into the space, people that are potentially curious or that have just kind of been feeling down or just maybe not really positive about kind of the outlook on things. And I think that, the moment that you really truly have that heart to heart with yourself and really want to change your current situation, it doesn't have to be overnight. But I think that the point of this quote was that it happens the moment that you actually truly start believing that change can happen and that you can actually change yourself and that positive things can happen. So I'll leave those words of positivity for all of our job seekers out there. I know the struggle that you're going through. I know that it may not seem like there's light at the end of the tunnel, but I assure you that if you put all of your heart and your intentions and all of your energy into it, change will start to happen. And yeah, just wanted to leave those positive words on this lovely Wednesday that we have here.
We've got some really good comments on Twitter. We also have 708 likes, which is like making my day. So X account is at Emily Crypto Jobs. I try to keep it easy. And glad you're removing dates of education, Web3 glossary. That makes me very happy. It's just not something that's important on your resume or your LinkedIn profile. It doesn't matter.
Maybe we can
So
talk about that a little
question.
bit as well
Sure.
too. Is just I don't want to turn this into a psychology session here, but the job search is very psychological, and you have to understand that at this point right now, there is still a human being on the other end of this, right? We don't want to do anything that is possibly going to give the person on the other end the opportunity to create biases and make judgments about who you are. As a recruiter, as a hiring manager, as someone that's done partnerships, business development, all of these things, it's very easy for our minds to always kind of assume the worst. It's just kind of human behavior, right? And you have to try to convince other people that that's not the case. And you don't want to ever give someone ammunition to create these kind of judgments or biases in their minds, right? You don't want to ever let someone paint the picture of who you are without actually allowing them to understand what they're painting in the first place. So, dates of education, that's something that unfortunately someone can say, that person's too old, or maybe this person's on the flip side of that, people could say this person's too young. They're not experienced enough. So you don't want to ever do that. Another kind of rule of thumb is on your resume, your LinkedIn profile, rule of thumb is go back 10 years in terms of employment. Anything older than that, you don't necessarily need to put that. And then if you do have a very long, I would say successful career with tenure, if you're putting 20 years on your resume, once again, that goes back to that psychological thing. Someone can say, oh, this person's too qualified. You hear these kind of weird words, they're too strong. And quite frankly, at the end of the day, this is something that, people have to be very leery of too. You could be considered a possible threat for someone else in the organization if they see that you have all this incredible experience, if you see that they have all this leadership experience. What if they're the hiring manager and they're thinking in the back of their mind, you know what? Gosh, I'm not going to hire John. John can come in and take my job, right? So you want to be vague enough to get them to be interested, but you never want to overshare. And you always have to think about your resume and your LinkedIn profile, all the stuff that you put on social media as something that is going to entice people to want to have a conversation with you. And then when you finally get that opportunity to have a chance to have a conversation with them, that's when you can read the room. That's when you can understand and match their energy. That's when you can start mirroring the behaviors of what they're doing in the interview. That's when you can start to do your due diligence and research before you have that conversation to understand how much you need to share or how much you need to keep secret until you get to the point of having, another conversation with maybe another decision maker that could potentially hire you. So you have to do all these things. And I know it sounds like a lot, but it is a lot, right? And you have to do all these things to really set yourself up for the best possible for success. So that's just kind of something else that I wanted to share with folks as well too, because these things can be potentially hurting you. And unless you have someone like Emily and I that are going to actually be honest with you and tell you the truth, you're going to continue to repeat the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And a lot of people are spinning their wheels and wondering, like, why am I not getting a job, or why am I having such a hard time? You have to think about this, that there's a lot of psychology that comes into it. And, I think that we can have we can have 50 episodes just talking about this one topic, but we don't have the time to do so. But do some research, folks. Look into behaviorism, look into the psychological aspect of it. And, last but not least, I would say that no matter what, go into every situation thinking that, you're going to get something positive out of it. The times in my life where I where I failed, those were actually very transformational, and those were moments that helped me to persevere and learn more and push through it. And I look back at that now, and that's something that was very instrumental, and I would say things that make me successful today.
It's great feedback, Trevor. It's great feedback. So we've got some really good comments here. Julie Cho, Emily and Trevor, the jobs you have tech related, I'm looking for crypto sanctions. Yes and no, we have both. I don't have any crypto sanction roles open right now, but we're not just tech. We do the professional side. We actually have two teams at the Crypto Recruiters. We've got the tech side and the non-tech side. So we do both. I would say, I haven't done anything in compliance for a long time. There's a couple other crypto compliance recruiters out there that have made an impact in the space. And it's
the roles are out there. The roles are definitely out there. They're just not ones that we've been able to pick up as clients yet, but that will soon happen for sure. There's everything from sanctions, compliance, regulatory side. I've seen a lot actually too with like government relations and kind of the policy side. That's the word. Really, really interesting. And there's a lot that's going on in DC. There's a lot that's going on through other various jurisdictions around the world, because I think that this technology can no longer be ignored. It is something that is going to eventually impact all realms and levels of government. So with all of the talk and regulations and the changes that are happening, not only here in the US, but globally, that is going to be something that, we've been keeping a really constant eye and ear open to everything that's going on in the space. And I feel honestly that that's going to be a huge opportunity for people that do have that background, even as well too the legal side, right? I've seen a lot of GC roles, general counsel, for folks that don't know that acronym. There's a lot out there too, and these organizations, as this space matures, it's going to need to have people that are looking at all aspects of the business. It's not going to be purely the technical side. That's obviously incredibly important, but the marketing, right? Business development, strategy, partnerships, communications, PR, legal, compliance, regulatory, anything that is, I would say, pervasive in the regular world in Web 2, it's going to be in Web 3. So I think that it's really great for anyone that's curious about that to respectively look in their particular area, do some research, and also to, I would say, connect with other people that are already doing the thing that you want to be doing. That's really, really helpful, and it can serve as a blueprint for those folks that are out there that are kind of curious about how you can make a transition to the space. I like to always reverse engineer it. This is one of the things that was I love doing when I was when recruiting, is looking at someone's profile in a company that I may be working for, I'm recruiting for, or maybe even a company that I'm trying to do business development for, or even get a strategy, partnership, doesn't matter. Look at what they're currently doing right now, and then go back and look at, the titles and roles and responsibilities that they've had within that organization. How did they progress as a professional? And then also, too, look at the different types of companies and organizations that they were before, and start to kind of look at maybe the top 10 people that are in compliance in crypto. Look at the companies first and foremost that are doing that, and then look at the top people in the management. Look at the people that are on the team. Look at the people that are at that entry-level, junior-level role, and start to take note of, like, what's a common theme? What are some trends? Are all these people going to Duke? I don't know. Do all these people go to a particular, did they have a particular type of industry that they come from? Did they come from biotech and pharma? Was that something that was beneficial in their career track? So really look at that. And that is, I would say, one of the best ways to kind of reverse engineer it and look at where these people came from and try to not duplicate it, but mimic it, I guess, and try to see if there's anything that is similar to you, what you've done, that can translate and help you to make that conviction to someone else if you're trying to make that change. And last but not least, folks, like, make friends with the people that you want to be in the same circle with, right? Like, coming to these sessions are great, but there are tons of people, 700, I don't know, thousands of people that have come to these sessions over time, over the years, Em. Find them, have conversation with them, see what struggles and challenges they're having, see what success they're having, looking to see how they broke into the space. We have podcasts with guests and speakers, and it doesn't necessarily, I don't think it necessarily matters as much at like what discipline that they're doing. That has some relevance, yes, but listening to the origin stories of how people got into the space, what was their mindset, like how did they get here in the first place? I think that a lot of that independent of where you want to go in the space, it still is a good blueprint for you of how to start and how to get your mindset, and a lot of that is really important if you're going to succeed in the space.
It's very important, and I think a positive attitude. I'm getting ripped to shreds by this dude on LinkedIn right now. Never heard of him. Don't know who he is, but ripping me. Okay. Love it. I was talking with someone.
What? Everyone's got, sometimes people just want to
see the world.
I realize that too. It's like people, it's, this industry that we're in, man, it's, especially in what we do, right? It's so people focused. It's so emotional. And there's so many things that are going on outside of this conversation that it's tough time for people. People are losing jobs. Things are just going on socioeconomically, geopolitically, whatever, right? It's always going to be someone that no matter what you do, you can be the most positive person in the world. Like people, people say, I don't like your smile. I don't like that what are you laughing about? Why are you so happy? It's just like, because I am, and you are what you are, and I am what I am, and that's the way that it'll be. So, understand, Em, that it's nothing to do with you, man. Like that person could have spilled coffee on their lap driving to work. Who knows? Like, let them be mad, let them vent it out. And hopefully, we're still going to be here. Whoever is upset and giving you crap, sending them a virtual hug. Yeah. Come on, let's hug it out. Let's be friends. I hope that you have a great day no matter what, and keep that positivity going, man. It is what it is.
Oh my God. It's just so funny. It's just so funny. I just I don't get it. Personally, I don't get it. Like, especially listen, this is not me trying to be like, oh my God, I'm amazing. But I know that we, the crypto recruiters, put the most love into our work. It's kind of like cooking, right? When you cook with love, it tastes different. It tastes better, right? Same thing with recruiting, same thing with doing your job. When you put love into your work, it's a different experience. I just recently updated my LinkedIn tagline to the hiring process you wish took longer, because that was literally feedback we got from one of our clients. This was so fast, it was so efficient, and it was such a positive experience. And that just made my day. So I added it to my tagline because I was like, you're going to wish this took longer. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes these job searches take a long time. But we try to get that done quick. We actually just made a hire. How long was it? It was sorry, I'm doing math. 72 hours. That was way too difficult. 72 hours, 3 days from submission to hire. It was a 3-round interview step. We got 3 rounds done over 2 days, and then they made their decision on Friday. It was pretty incredible. But for the right person, companies are willing to move very quickly. But if the process is slow, that doesn't mean you're a bad candidate. It also doesn't mean you're a bad client or a bad company. It just means you're a little more thoughtful, sus, maybe you've had a bad experience hiring before. But I do think 3 to 4 rounds, 100% appropriate. 100% appropriate. No issues with 3 to 4 rounds. I think 7 rounds is when we get a little cringy. So if you are hiring, it's important to be thorough, but not exhaustive. When you have too long of an interview process, you're sending a signal that you might be indecisive or unable to make fast choices or unable to follow your gut. Again, going back to the psychology, everybody is thinking and internalizing what you are doing. Everybody. I also wanted to let you guys know on Twitter, We had, what did we have on Twitter? Oh, we had a bunch of like, so here's the issue I have with Twitter, right? There's a lot of like rage baiting. There's a lot of like dumb postings. And we had a candidate post something super political on on Twitter.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he lost the interview. You know, and the client was not happy about it. And so you have to be very careful about what you're posting because people are taking that, making their own assumptions. And again, you are a reflection of the company. So something to really take into consideration. I'm so over this dude on LinkedIn right now. Like I'm so over it.
You have to be really cognizant of what it is right now. Like, are we saying, and this is something else, and I want to clear this up, is that, you know, when we say stuff like this and other people in the space are saying, like, you know what, like, never mention anything about politics, race, religion, sex, sexual orientation, whatever, right? Money, like, try to avoid that because you never know who you may interact with that may strongly either agree and or oppose with your views. And, you know, if you choose to decide to go down one particular area and that's going to be the hill that you die on, then okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we want you to have the ability to be honest and feel that you're not limiting your true self, who you are as a person, and or as a professional. But understand that everything that you do, every action has a reaction, every cause has, like, if you choose to put something out there that may be controversial or highly politically charged, then be prepared that the consequences may be that it could impact something else in your life. And if that's okay with you, if you feel like, you know what, I strongly believe in X, Y, Z, and if anyone doesn't believe in that, then I don't even want to be associated with them. Then you know what, that person that, you know, said something on X that was considered wrong for the potential client, then you maybe saved yourself a lot of time and effort, right? Maybe
Yeah.
you know now, maybe you know what, they rejected you because if you put something that you strongly believe in on X and you don't get the job, then guess what? Then that's not that's maybe not the right atmosphere for you, and that's
You probably
okay.
don't want to work there
You probably don't
anyway.
want to work there anyway, so you have to balance that and you have to weigh it out. But at the end of the day, I think that, you know, we're entering an age where authenticity and realness and true compassion and love is lacking. That's probably how we got to the point we are in the world right now.
Yeah.
People just don't tend to care. People tend to internalize it and make it only about them. And I'm from an old school mindset that, you know, it takes a village to raise a person, and that community actually does matter, and that the actions and the things that you do, and what you say that you're going to do, that you should actually try to do that to the best of your best of your ability. So it is what it is, folks. But you know, just understand that these things do matter. And you know, at this point right now, we're still in a world that we're all humans, and we have to understand that human emotions and behavior and psychology all go into everything that is going to help you to get a job or even hire for a job or to anything that's associated with professional life, honestly.
We've got a couple of comments here. So Matthew said, I can imagine some of these companies have hundreds of applicants. Sir,
Thousands.
thousands. Thousands. We had an HR opening a couple weeks ago. It got 2,700 applicants. So one thing I want to advise you on is, you know, when you apply on LinkedIn, you've got those questions you can answer, you know, where it's like yes or no questions or numerical questions. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? So, oh, this sounds so bad, but we're honest, we're transparent. I'm going to let you know. I put one question on those questionnaires, and it's, did you read this question? Select no. I feel so bad doing it, but the problem is that the candidates that are going out there and just sending resumes to everybody and not reading anything, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's just you're hurting the process, you're hurting yourself, it's just, so anyway, we're looking for candidates that are looking to, make an impact in a company and put the effort into the company. So if you're not going to put the effort into the 2 questions that we post, it whittles things down for us,
You
right?
have to pay attention to detail. I think that that's another important point, Em, is like you have to pay attention to detail. From any discipline, if you are going to get into this space, whether you're a regulatory compliance legal specialist to someone that is a senior blockchain front end, back end developer, whatever, right? There's so much information that's coming to us on a daily basis that if you're not paying attention to the small stuff, that can end up costing a company thousands, if not millions of dollars. That could end up costing you maybe failure or success, however you want to look into that. But, you have to understand that, unfortunately, that there's been a lot of people out there that have made this process a lot harder than it needs to be for you. And you need to accept that first and foremost. And then you need to understand how to use the tools that we have access to, do that kind of stuff and pay attention to the small details and actually follow instructions. That's one of the things that hiring managers consistently say to us, Em, is just like, we had an interview with people and we said, like, beforehand, like, what do you know about the company? And they're like, we know that you guys, the token price went up last week. And it's just like, okay, anyone can go on any website and find out what the price of a project was. What else do you know? Well, I know that you guys started in 2018. Okay, what else do you know? Then you start, like, if you don't know that kind of stuff, everyone can get basic surface level information. Everyone can just, quite frankly, cheat and use Chat GPT during an interview and have it come along and spit out some verbatim, basic questions and answers out there. But it's the outside of the box thinking. It's the going above and beyond. It's the ability to love what other people tend to hate. It's the ability to separate yourself from the crowd. It's the ability to always be reinventing yourself in the moment that you think you won, to realize that you are not nearly to where your true potential is. It's the ability to be humbled in this space. I think that's one of the things that's so incredible about this space. It's been such an emotional challenge and a ride, but it's a beautiful thing. In this space, if you are super cocky, if you think that you're the best thing since sliced bread, I guarantee you there will be a moment in this industry that you will become humbled. You will learn that, I'll leave it at that. You will be pleasantly surprised in a very good way. And I think that really helps building your mental fortitude. But these are the kind of qualities and characteristics that, not only our clients are looking for, but this is what other people are looking for as well too. And this is what really, I think, sets you up for success and makes you different. Because, as we mentioned before, there are thousands of applicants, not hundreds. There are thousands of applicants. Everyone says they want to get into blockchain and Web3, but going back to my earlier point, until you truly want to make that change, until you truly want to do the things that's going to be required for you to be successful, it's basically like never going to the gym and saying that, you want to become a bodybuilder. It's basically like saying, like, I've never spoken to an actor before, but I want to star in a movie. It's like saying, I want to become the starting quarterback of my favorite NFL team, but I've never picked up a football before. Right? So think about that. You have to put yourself in the environment. You have to put yourself in the mindset. You have to associate with the people that you want to be associated with. Birds of a feather flock together. And if you want to get into this space, you have to actually do the things that we're telling you to do and not just pretend. And I think that I'll leave this at the last point. And my mom told me this. I think that she got it from her granddad or something. But she said, the worst thing that you can do in life is lie to yourself. And we all do it. We all do it, right? We all say, "Oh, I really want to do that. I really want to do. I want to." But if you're not doing it, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
So don't waste your time. Don't waste any other person's time. If it's not right for you, that's okay. No one is getting mad at you. No one's reprimanding you. We're all adults, right? If it's not the right time, it's not the right time. But don't approach someone if your true intentions aren't to follow through and to give the equal amount, if not more, effort than the person that's actually trying to help you. One of the things that hurts me the most, quite frankly, is when I care for someone else's success more than they care for it themselves. It's devastating. I see so much potential in people, and they give 2%, 3%, and I'm out here giving 110% for someone that doesn't even believe in themselves. Nothing is ever going to come from that. So, yes, bitter truth, but I think it's just truth in nature, and it's not necessarily bitter. It's what people need to hear. And if you're ready to make that change, we're here for you. We're here to support you. This industry is an incredible number of people in this industry are compassionate, that want to help you, that want to educate you, that want to teach you. But a lot of them have been burned. A lot of them have had conversations with people that have zero follow through. A lot of them have stopped their busy schedule to take a call with someone that reaches out to them never again. So, it's unfortunate that happens, but you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing, and don't think about, where you are today. Think about where you want to be a year from now, because all the action that you are doing this exact immediate moment is going to impact where you're going to eventually be, and if you actually get to the place that you want to go.
I love when people reach out and they're like, fix all my problems for
It's like,
free.
and the thing is funny is, Emma, is like, they would never want to fix your problems. They don't even care about your problems. It's all about their problems. But if they're not willing to fix it themselves, or at least work towards it, it's not that you have to be able to fix it, because everyone needs help. And if someone said that they never need help, then they're lying, right? Everyone needs help. I don't think there's even this word of like a self-made millionaire. How the hell did you get money if no one bought your product? Like, there's no such thing. Everyone needs help. But you need to be able to be willing to help yourself and do the hard things that are going to require you to be successful. And that moment that you truly do, have that heart to heart with yourself, and really not just like hypothetically want to make the change, but truly really want to make the change, you'll be so surprised at like how fast things start coming your way. You'll be so surprised at like when you actually put in the hard work. And like it's happened to me, like that moment when I've been like trying, I've been grinding. I'm just like, I want to give up. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna one more time, one more hour, one more email, one more message, one more LinkedIn review, one more post, one more. And then I'll start getting amazing responses from that. It's the moment that you feel that like everything's gonna collapse. Is then like you'll get that phone call, or you'll get that message from someone that's like, hey, you know what? I see you. I see what you're doing, and I appreciate you. That's literally like the most amazing feeling, because when you have been really trying hard, when you have been putting in the hard work, the universe, life, whatever your religious beliefs are, it doesn't matter, right? Like it starts to align with what you're trying to do. Like when you surround yourself around positivity, you meet other positive people. When you surround yourself around negativity, you meet other negative people. When you consistently say it's going to be better, things are going to work out, wow, things start to work out. And like it may sound like hippity dippity, it may sound like whatever, too hippity dippity for folks, but at the end of the day, words matter, actions matter, and energy matters, and what you say matters, and what you do actually does matter.
I want to talk about from a hiring manager's perspective for a second.
Yeah.
So everybody is so frustrated that they're not hearing back from hiring managers. But put yourself in their shoes, right? You have, how do I want to say this? So everybody has their own job, right? And we know a job takes 40 plus hours a week. So you have your job. Now you're missing someone on your team. So now you're picking up their slacks, right? So let's call it 60 hours a week. And then you're also recruiting. And when you're recruiting, you're at least doing an hour a day So that's 65 hours a week minimally, right? I spend 8 hours a day recruiting. Like I'm going to talk on the low end, guys. 1 hour a day recruiting, right? Through that hour, you get 20 messages, and each message says, I'm interested in this job. I think I'd be a good fit. I want to talk to you. It's exhausting, right? And LinkedIn doesn't help, because when you send a connection request to someone, LinkedIn sends an email that says, I want to connect. And it's like, okay, great. You want to connect. I heard you loud and clear. What problem are you solving other than cluttering up an inbox? Like, you can't, it's the same thing. Come with solutions, not problems. Come with, hold on.
I would say, to that point, and
sorry, the train went by.
No worries. If you're not getting a response from a hiring manager, if you're not getting a response from a recruiter, if you're not getting a response from someone that you see on a podcast or an AMA, right? Like, change the mindset. Don't think about like what's wrong with them. What's wrong with you? What are you not doing right? There are people responding to them. They are having interviews. So is it something that you're lacking in your career, in your professional repertoire? Is it something that you are not at the level that they need the person to be to hire to the role? We need to stop taking things so personally and just getting so like hurt and feeling that like it's just like it's not personal. It's business.
Yeah,
like it's business.
And it's beyond.
You're hiring someone to do a job.
Yes.
They are trading your time for money. Like
your life. You're trading your life for money. But at the end of the day, like, okay, so quick sidetrack. I saw like 3 posts yesterday talking about the Gen Z mentality, about how, employers are exploitative and, they don't want to put in more than 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day. And like, I am genuinely concerned about our future, like genuinely, because it's not like, that's just not how the world works. It's just not how the world works. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but a company, if they're looking at 2 people, 2 candidates, both with similar backgrounds, one of them is willing to go above and beyond, not only to help the company, but help themselves grow within their career, right? It's kind of like school in a way. If you don't study, if you don't put in the hours, you're not going to pass the final. So if you're not putting in your hours of work, you're not putting in your passion, your drive, whatever you want to call it, you are not going to grow in your career. So I'm really frustrated with the Gen Z mentality of like, it just doesn't make sense. I'm just having a hard time wrapping my brain around it. It just, not even a minute more of late time without being compensated for it. Like, how do you expect, if you were to start your own company and you only did 8 hours a day, that's it. How would that go for you? And the answer is not well. The answer is not well. I know Etsy shop owners that put in more than 8 hours a day. I don't get it. Anyway, enough about the frustration. It's just, I don't know, have more. I mean, maybe it's because people aren't motivated. They're motivated in different ways.
No,
right?
You know what it is, this is not the end all be all to what your point you brought, because it's very complex. But I think also too, and I was talking to someone else too. I'm not going to name names, but they had brought up this point that there's this aspect of crypto that it's get rich quick. Someone during a bull market put $100 in a random project and they became a millionaire, and they did no work to get that success. The funny thing about that is that a lot of the people that hit the lottery and a lot of these people that like randomly invested in a meme coin and that went to the moon and they got a Lambo, they're broke in 6 months. They're homeless in 12 because they didn't put any discipline into, they didn't earn it. And
Discipline.
everyone wants to get everything without actually earning it. If you don't want to work for the man, then you're going to start your own business. You think that you're going to put in, like you said, oh, I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to put in 4 hours a day. I'm going to go have a little cocktail. I'm just going to chill. And then, you know what? People are just going to come and buy my product, and I don't have to actually do anything. We've gotten to this, unfortunately, this society, this culture, and I don't know why this is. And, you know, it is what it is, that like we glorify the least amount of everything. We glorify social media celebritism. We glorify the easy way out. We glorify that, but the truth and reality of it is that, like, you know what? Yeah, one person is going to hit the lottery, but for every one person that hit the lottery, 1 billion people lost a lot of money. For every one person that got into this industry and became successful overnight and didn't have to work for it, there's people that are grinding and grinding and grinding. There are people that have been in this industry since 2012 that were buying Bitcoin, and they don't have generational wealth yet because, you know what? They have real life problems. They maybe sold. They maybe had to take care of family or a loved one or a sick person. They might have had health issues. They may have got evicted when you know, the markets were down. They might have gotten laid off and didn't find a job for 2 years and had to go through and pull themselves up from that, right? Like, so this get rich quick, I don't have to do anything, I deserve, I'm entitled kind of behavior, it's toxic. And I think that honestly does a lot worse for our industry than it does better. But at the end of the day, right, folks, you know, you can have your own opinions about it, but, you know, this is what you're going to have to encounter if you want to get into this industry. Now, after these type of conversations, you know, for me, when I heard someone, when people have taken the time to give me this kind of realism, it motivated the hell out of me. It put a fire under me. It made me say, you know what, like, all right, you know what? Yeah, you need to look at yourself in the mirror. You need to practice what you preach. You need to do that. Like, get on with it. Go for it. And you know, this is something I don't really share this much, but the other day, my dad passed a couple of years ago. I went to his gravesite. I think this was a few days ago, and I sat there literally for about a half an hour. 10 minutes of it was me bawling, crying. 10 minutes of me was saying, you know what? I'm extremely thankful of all the sacrifices and dedication that this person did to even for me to be here in the first place. The last 10 minutes of it was, get your ass up and let's go. Stop being emotional. Stop complaining about things. Make something happen right now. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be in the same place at some point in your life, because it happens to all of us, and you will not have achieved the thing that you wanted to achieve. And it made me so motivated. It made me so grateful. It recharged me to like just say, like, you know what? The market conditions don't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Politics doesn't matter. Whatever's going on with Elon Musk, that doesn't matter. What matters is doing what you need to do and putting all of your energy and all of your focus to becoming the person that you want to be, and not letting down people that have put all the time and energy to see you successful. Think about that as well too, right? Think about all the people that took all that time and money and effort to raise you and to bring you up. Like, what would they think if you just decided to just give up? So that's that.
It was interesting. I just noticed that everybody that posts about not wanting to do the hustle or not like okay, there was a tweet. Even though I'm not funny enough to be on Twitter, I'm still on Twitter. But there was a tweet about this girl that said, if you glorify the hustle, I don't like you. And her LinkedIn bio was linked in her Twitter profile. Hasn't held a job for more than 8 months. And I'm like, you're going to advise people to not glorify the hustle culture?
And you don't have to glorify the hustle culture. There can be a balance despite what people believe, there can be work-life balance in this industry. There's different degrees to it, but it's a choice. Yeah. Everything's a choice. Every single thing is a choice. If you choose to work 100 hours a week, that's your choice. Namaste. I wish you luck. If you choose to work 3 hours and spin the ball and hope that you hit okay. Like, whatever you want to do is okay. but understand that what's right for someone may not be right for someone else. It takes I don't know, like months and months and months. I've seen from this analogy for an elephant to be born, but it might take it might take 3 months for another animal to be born. Like, that doesn't mean that the elephant's better than that, or one tree may take 7 years to grow and reach maturity. There are some plants that take 15 years to bloom one time, and there are others that you can plant it and they're producing flowers in 3 months. Like, one's not better than the other, one's not worth more than the other. All of it matters. So like, understand that, also one of the things too that's a big misconception is, especially for people that are trying to enter the space, is that like what worked for someone else is going to be automatically indicative of what's going to work for you. And that's not always the case. There are some people that may have achieved a different level of success professionally, or they're at a higher level, or they're in a skill set that's in a higher demand. And they may have to apply for 10 jobs to get 5 interviews to get 3 job offers. There are other people that may have to apply to 400 jobs to get 20 interviews to get 1 job offer. One is not better than the other, but you have to understand that and analyze that, and then put yourself in the best success and the best situation for that, and to understand what is it that worked and what is it that did not work, and to continuously to evolve and to adapt to whatever situation is going on. And that is extremely important to be successful in this industry. I think adaptation and being flexibility as well.
Trevor, you're 100% right. I think Rachel had a really great comment. I think the people here are willing to put in the work. I agree with you. Anyone that's ever come to Blockchain Brunch walks away with something positive, helpful. I mean, you guys are here. We've been on for an hour. Like, you guys wouldn't be here if you didn't want to be successful. Speaking of being here for an hour, I gotta go. I gotta go. Sorry. I have to go to my next meeting. You should see my calendar. I wish I could blur, because if I were to share, it would show all the names, and like, we're recording, so I don't want all the names to be shown. But like, I am literally booked almost every single day from 8 to 6. 8 to 6 every single day. I'm not over here like, oh my God, that's so much work. No, I love what I do. But it's a lot, is all I'm saying. It's a lot. And when people...
Everyone that's here, like, the thing is too, like, there's a lot of people that just saying words to say words, right? We care about you. We want to see every single person that comes here to succeed. But the last thing that we want to do is to sugarcoat it and to be like the trainer at the gym. Like, if you go to the gym and you're trying to get fit, you don't want a trainer that's going to say, you know what? We had an hour schedule and I expected you to do all these things, but you know what? Today, don't work out. Just chill. You don't have to push yourself. You don't have to challenge yourself. No, that's not going to get you to the point that you need to get. So although we love you being here, we want you to be here, we want you to tune in every single week, but being here is not enough. You have to do more. You have to go up. You have to challenge yourself. You have to set goals. And then I think this is going to be a good challenge. I want every single person that's here to challenge themselves to do one thing that's going to make them better in whatever goal they're trying to achieve. Let's touch base next week and let's share what's that one thing that you were able to do. One thing, not 100, not 1,000, one thing. It could be anything. What are you going to do, and what have you taken from this conversation? Are the comments that people have been entering? Are all the content that we have on social media? What are you going to do? What's that one thing that you're going to do? We're giving you an entire week to get closer to your goal, because that, at the end of the day, we want to see you succeed. We are selfish to a degree that I can't even comprehend. This is not normal. No other agency, no other company no one's doing this. So please, please, please don't make our efforts and our energy and our time worth nothing. Please, 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 we're begging you to become the amazing people that you are supposed to be.
I'm done begging. Just do it. That's just me.
Thanks.
Okay, I gotta go. Guys, wonderful to see all of you. Thank you so much. Trevor, hang on with me for a second. Let me also see if I can like make this like music thing work. Hold on one second while we end the stream. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.